What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Unruly Podcast with your boy Sticks and Evan.
Howdy.
And God, we were blessed with such great football this weekend. Just blessed.
Great football.
We
There
don't
was
need to
there was two good games.
we don't need to talk about. Well, no, we definitely have to talk about the Eagles. Giants suck. Simple.
Yeah, we figured that was gonna happen. Just because the Giants were just such a good matchup for the Vikings, to take out the Vikings. But we knew they weren't gonna do nothing else.
Yeah,
They kind of did as I expected. That maybe a little worse than I expected.
Giants definitely did worse than I expected, but I also thought they don't really have the roster, so I was like, all right, they're not really going to do much.
Yeah, no, they just couldn't.
Couldn't hold on.
No fucking juice.
It also didn't help that Brian Daboll probably called his worst game as a Giant head coach. Just happened to be in the game they needed it most. So,
but they're gonna be a fucking good.
They're gonna be fine. Danny Nichols is gonna be fine.
Dable is a really really good coach. As if Saquon comes back, which that's. I feel like
just saying he may go to the Bills.
I feel like he's way more likely to come back now, obviously, because they played hella good, and then their head coach is good, and
yeah,
Danny Dimes actually.
Plus, right now, realistically, Saquon's the king of New York. So, I mean, it's a pretty good spot to be, realistically.
Yeah.
Other than, not having any wide receivers at all. Then needing a complete, overhaul. Not a complete overhaul, but, you need some more pieces still, I should say.
Oh, yeah. You need
Plus, you still don't even know what you're doing at quarterback, which is tough.
I think Danny bought himself another year.
But do you franchise tag him where it's going to be $40 million just for the year, or do you do
franchise fucking Saquon because he's probably gonna?
Yeah, unless you tag him, he's probably going to walk. Like I said, Bills is a great place for him to be. They have zero run game. They still need to fix their offensive line, of course, but I think it'd be a great place for him.
They got dogged.
Yeah,
they got fucking dogged. And
they got
back on Giants. They need one receiver. They're in the same boat as the Patriots. They have a bunch of number 2 guys.
Except I wouldn't even say number 2s because Isaiah Hodges they literally picked up off the street. Slayton is a good-ish number 2 who was forced to play number 1. And then who else is there? You got Sterling Shepard that got hurt with his ACL again. So they really have no receivers at all. And a lot of people are kind of putting this on Danny Dimes. Don't get me wrong, he played pretty bad, but it also doesn't help when you don't have any receivers around you.
I mean, he did it all year.
He did, but the playoffs are a different breed, especially the Eagles' best running offense, best pass defense. They had no chance. Realistically, they had no chance. Giants should be happy with their season.
They should be. They had no business being in the divisional round. Zero. They had no business being in the playoffs, and they won a playoff game. So it's you can't. Just last year, as a Patriot fan, obviously I didn't like how we got fucking blown out in the wild card round, but we were supposed to go 6-10.
Same thing this year, and we still won more games.
That's what I'm saying. This year is more disappointing because of last year, but last year we were supposed to go 6-10. Mac Jones was supposed to be iffy and kind of find his way, but they came out and we had one of the best defenses in the league, and then Mac Jones played
he played pretty solid
well as a rookie, and that's as a Giants fan, that's where I'd be right now, because last year obviously the Pats left a sour taste in my mouth, but I was hey, fucking 10-7, made it to the wild card, you gotta be happy. And also for the future, the Giants are in a pretty good spot.
Yeah,
as long as they sign back at least at least Saquon.
And even then, people are saying maybe it's an OBJ reunion. We'd even talk about OBJ in that video that came out, but that video, as an OBJ fan, it was tough to watch. I'm not gonna lie. For anyone who doesn't know, he was on a plane, maybe a month and a half ago? Because it was like right when he was going to Dallas to do his interviews and stuff like that. And I just remember literally everybody was saying, "Oh, he's definitely going to Dallas, definitely going to," and I wanted him. And this happens. You see the video, and it's bad. He's calling an old man for no reason. It doesn't even maybe we didn't see the stuff leading up preceding it, but it doesn't really matter. OBJ looks like a dickhead, and one of his biggest fans. You are a douchebag, and then proceeded the next day to post a picture with his kid. I'm like, I don't even believe you anymore. I don't even believe that's your kid. I think you're a liar.
We don't even know if OBJ is going to be OBJ towards ACL. That's a big thing.
Hmm.
And he's like, if a torn ACL takes you a year to come back from, that's bad.
It's not looking good.
Big deal.
Because it wasn't until I was really watching the Dallas playoff game, not to get too off topic, but it wasn't until I was watching that playoff game that I was like, damn, Odell still isn't on a team. And I was like, this man was supposed to come back week 16? Last 2 weeks of the season? And then work his way into the playoffs. And then he was like, oh, well, I'm not worried about the regular season. You should be. If you want a long-term deal, you should be.
It's those non-contact ACLs are the worst. That's why
At turf.
Kyler's not going to be the same. It's not even the turf. Well, it was the turf for.
It was turf for hits.
But everyone else, most people Kyler's was outside the framework. He fucking did the breakdown juke, and then once your foot is out outside your shoulders, and you're putting all your weight on that knee, that's gonna. It's not every time, but it's
it's the one. It's the 1 in 10 chance or whatever the stats were.
That's why that shit happens so much with you don't see old linemen getting fucking ACL injuries unless they're rolled up on because they're not doing all that.
Because they're always pretty parallel for the most part.
They're always fucking feet just outside the shoulders and shit like that. Unless you're getting rolled up on, which is a different story.
Yeah.
It also has nothing to do with the turf, but that OBJ's was he was just running and it just popped. That's turf.
But
and that's the worst. It's always worse when it's no human.
Yeah, no human around you, just literally.
You just fall over.
Yeah. Because at least if he got hit, he could use the excuse of, well, I did get hit, compared to nobody else was around him. So it's it just looks so much worse. Especially, like you said, him taking the entire year. I don't know.
It means
especially with that video coming out, it may be the last we've seen of OBJ in the NFL, which is pretty sad to say, considering what an amazing prospect he was. Especially on the Giants, we all know what he was. He was basically what Jettis was doing right now. He was taking the league by storm. And then it's unfortunate that he had to go to Baker Mayfield, your boy. Ruined his career.
I wouldn't say that.
I will.
If he got open every once in a while, Baker Mayfield will throw the ball.
He literally threw the interception that got OBJ's first ACL tear.
No, that's whatever, bro. All I'm saying is...
It's okay to be wrong.
All I'm saying is, OBJ had what? 3 really, really, really good years?
3 superstar years.
And then garbage on the Browns, semi-decent on the Rams, and now he's kind of...
in no man's land.
He's one of those... it's so weird to think about, but OBJ is one of those, players that was so good in a short amount of time.
I don't know how to describe it, because I was trying to give an NBA parallel.
Bo Jackson, dude.
I was thinking of the Linsanity period where he was just good for that. I think it was a week stretch, but that week stretch was nuts.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to put OBJ in that because everyone thought that he was going to be the greatest thing ever, and then he just obviously Baker Mayfield sucked, and then the injuries. So it's
I'm glad
it sucks that his. Well, Baker Mayfield didn't do himself any favors. He had a fucking really good Browns team.
No,
and he did bring them to the playoffs. And
beat the fraudulent Steelers.
Dying on that hill, and he beat the fraudulent Steelers. I'm still dying on that hill. But yes, he didn't throw him the ball, and not throw him the ball. So,
But yeah, to get off OBJ, shitty person, great football player when he was great. I will still be a fan and hope you're on the Cowboys because we have nobody other than CeeDee. Because Tony Pollard is. We'll talk about that later. Because boy, do I have a gripe with those boys. I'm not even going to mention them until we get to that topic. I refuse to even acknowledge that they exist as a franchise. Sorry, franchise. Let's just get into the real meat, as they say, of the pod. So yeah, we got the two great AFC matchups, or one great and one very disappointing. And we'll start off with the disappointing one. Bills. What the fuck happened?
dude, well, bro, that Bills team hasn't played like really good since like week 5.
Yeah, basically since he got hurt, right?
Yeah, but it's like at that. Obviously, didn't totally expect this to happen, but like as I was watching it, I thought about the week before when they just kind of they looked like
yeah, they're
against,
like okay
against the Dolphins team that's like the defense
that
is
realistically didn't deserve to be as close as they were.
They barely even deserved to be in the play. Like I'd say the Steelers deserved to be in the playoffs more than them. And then they had this 7th round pick kind of dog them up on defense. And then the Dolphins defense is not it's not the best defense in the fucking league. But
no, it's actually pretty mediocre, if not piss poor.
And then at times it made Josh Allen look like a fucking scrub. So it's like I'm not surprised that this happened because like the Bengals have been on a roll. So to say I'm surprised, I'd be lying, but like I didn't expect it to be like
a slaughter.
Yeah, like 24-10 at one point, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at one point it's 27-10 before Josh Allen threw. I think that's when he threw the pick. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, it was just like they just never like their defense never fucking. It was like their defense would make a stop, offense couldn't do nothing, then the offense would go do something, defense could make a stop. It was like they had a chance to tie it at 14 before the half, and then they just fucking stalled, and then the fucking Bengals went down and kicked a field goal, and then like 17-7's like 17-7 versus 14-14. It's like it's kind of. Yeah.
It's just really, I'd say it's heartbreaking for the Bills because I saw I forget what the influencer was, but he was comparing so far his Josh Allen's career to Phillip Rivers. And I was like, can't really be wrong because crazy big arm, crazy talented, just can't get over the hump. And I don't know, like this was, obviously I've been riding on him all year, pause. I was like, I thought they were going to make it. And if they can't make it this year, I don't know how they're going to make it next year and the years to come because Joe Burrow, I was going to wait to say this later, but Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the league. It goes Mahomes because Mahomes the GOAT. And then Joe Burrow, he's the most poised quarterback. He's the most accurate. I'd say he literally is he's the most cerebral quarterback there is. Because we all know what Pat Mahomes is just talent-wise. But it's just what he's able to do like pre-snap is just insane. And you saw that. He literally played probably his best game in the playoffs where he should have been. Like on the first touchdown drive, you see him kind of roll out a little bit off one leg, toss to Jamar Chase for a touchdown. And you're just like, I think that was kind of a foreshadowing things to come where it just looked so easy for him. And everything for the Bills just seemed tough. You had Diggs on the sideline screaming for the ball. But obviously when he's your really only weapon on offense, they're going to double and triple team you to make sure you don't get the ball. And then that's going to get you frustrated. That's going to slow down the offense. And like you said, when there's no other guy, you can't do anything, literally. It stalls the offense completely.
Dude, it sucks for them because their window is like now. But like the Bengals window is now. Chiefs window is now. No. And both those teams are better. Like,
I wouldn't even say the Chiefs are better necessarily, because I would say the defenses is pretty similar. I'd even give the slight edge to the Bills. but when it comes to offense, when it's just so Josh Allen centric, it's literally like Russ level usage, where it's like, I'm going to do everything. And if it doesn't work, then we're fucked.
That's what the Chiefs is similar to that. Like they ran all over the Jags, but like they're not going to run all over like a good defensive team. So it's like Mahomes does like similar. Like I'd say like the Chiefs and the Bills are very similar in what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd much rather have a Mahomes fucking doing all that bullshit than Josh Allen. Like,
yeah. I mean, we saw it on a sprained ankle, but for the Bills, I don't know what you do from here, because obviously Josh Allen isn't the problem. Josh Allen could still be an MVP in this league. I still believe he will be an MVP in this league. Maybe not this year, because Mahomes got that locked up for sure. Maybe next year, the year after. But I think the first thing they should be doing is be calling up saying, yeah, we want Debo. Or not Debo, D-Hop. Because you need somebody opposite of Stephon.
That's what, like, if Gabe Davis, like, progresses next year, like, and is more of a reliable two, like, he's a good two.
He's a high level number 3 that kind of portrays himself as a 2.
He's a 2.
He even have 1,000 yards this season.
Most 2s don't have 1,000 yards.
Unless you're Smitty. Smitty's him.
If you're, well, because Smitty wasn't picked to be number 2.
Nah, Smitty was, like I said,
Smitty's picked to be number 1, and they just decided to trade for AJ.
They were, yeah, AJ, you're taking the spot. And he goes, all right, I'll play Robin. Except he's not even Robin. He's like Nightwing, where he's like, all right, it may not be Batman, but just know I can get it done.
Well, I think if they trade for D-Hop, like you fucking Stephon Diggs will not enjoy. I think he'll leave. Diggs has to be the guy.
Diggs has to be the guy, but at the same time, you need a reliable number 2, and I'm not calling D-Hop a number 2. We saw this year missing 6 games and still almost had 1,000 yards on the season. He's still him, but you need another receiver, even if you have to go get in the draft. You need a better running attack. I know Cook was pretty good, and they're hoping he takes off next season because he's going to be the full-time starter. Singletary's okay, but you can't win games with literally that last game. No rushers eclipsed 30 yards. You can't win.
Dude, their O-line got
legitimately
dominated.
Folded.
And their D-line got dominated too on the other side, which is embarrassing, seeing as how bad the Bengals. Obviously, the Bengals O-line this year is a lot better than it was last year, but it's still not
even great.
It's still not great. Joe Burrow is still one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. But to have your D-line and O-line both get, and that's where the game was won. Biased because I'm an O-lineman. But if you can't block nobody, I've been a part of games where we couldn't block anybody and we fucking lost. You lose.
It starts in the trenches.
Game. So to get dominated, and it's like a mental thing too. If you see your big boys get dominated, everyone else on the team deflates. It starts up front, and you see the big boys getting fucking thrown around and swam move and shit like that. It's tough to watch that and play and fucking keep playing, So it's it's one of those things where the fucking the O-line needs to get fucking way better.
I want to say overhaul, but they definitely need. Let's see when they get healthy. They need something. Even defensively, I wouldn't say they're even bad defensively. I think they just need to get healthy because obviously Micah Hyde got hurt. Boyer was in and out of the season, and then obviously we know DeMar Hamlin, who was filling in, doing a pretty good job, has his whole situation. And then not Singletary, Milano didn't show up for the last game. It's just, I see the vision. It's just there's so many missing pieces. It's like a puzzle where it's you could finally see the picture in the middle, but those corner pieces that you need are just not there.
They're there. They're right there. But I would take in a game between the Bengals and the Bills for the next 5 years. I'm taking the Bills every time because Joe Burrow is fucking showed every single big moment from when he was in LSU.
Yeah.
Every single big moment he stepped up and played his best game. Fucking Josh Allen has never done that. Like,
Yeah.
he's played well. AFC Championship game a couple years ago, he played well. Divisional game last year, he played well, but he doesn't play better than the other quarterback. Like, and even every time he gets knocked out, he plays worse than the quarterback. Like, Mahomes fucking outplayed him 2 years in a row. Burrow outplayed him this year. It's like every single year, a quarterback that like everyone thought that Josh Allen would outplay Joe Burrow this week, but the opposite happened. So it's like he needs to start stepping up in positions like this. Like, he needs to be the guy to fucking take over the game.
And it's not even that he's playing necessarily bad. It's more of just he's not playing the Josh level standards. Like, he's playing the way he's playing. If it was Mac Jones, I'd be elated. But he's not Mac Jones. He's Josh Allen. He's supposed to be number 2 in the league. And he just didn't play up to par. While Joe Burrow made it, like I said earlier, made it seem so easy. Made it seem like it was nothing. Like, he literally, like, watching him play quarterback kind of feels like a different style, but watching Luka play offense, where it's like you see this guy doing stuff, and the game of basketball just seems so easy for him. Where the game of football just seems so easy for Joe Burrow because he has all this pre-snap recognition where it's like, oh, I already know what to do here. Especially where it's now 2 years where he's been under a bad offensive line. He's like, oh, well, I know Jerry on the left there ain't gonna do shit. So I gotta watch myself there. I gotta have the ball out by this time. And it's impressive. It's very impressive. But I don't know where the Bills go from here. Like you say D, maybe not D-Hop. I just know they need another receiver. Let's just say that. They need another receiver. They need offensive line help. And Josh Allen just simply needs to play better in crunch time. In big moments, he needs to play better.
Their window is closing fast.
Like, very fast, rapidly.
You can't go from AFC Championship to bounce to divisional again. So it's like, it's only like the hype, the Bills hype can only last so long. Like, people are already starting to question it. Mm-hmm. Like, because they've had this every year. It's like watch out for the Bills this year.
Yeah,
losing the AFC Championship. Watch out for the Bills. It's like you're not. They're just not gonna get there. Like, anytime.
Let's talk about the other AFC winner, my homeboy.
I hate that. No, listen. I hate that he gets hurt, and then they're like fucking just sucking him off for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, Chris Collinsworth was literally like,
because he beats this dog shit Jaguars team on one leg. Like, they took him in X-rays. He was fine. He has a sprained ankle. Fucking, you know how many people?
Hey, it's the same thing Tony Pollard had. Tony Pollard couldn't come back.
Sprain their ankles and fucking play, but it's fucking Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
So, like, whoa.
You just don't understand. This is the GOAT we're talking about. Not that guy, Tom, whatever his name was.
Gracious. That is blasphemy and
5 straight AFC championships. 5 straight.
I don't care. Fucking Tom Brady has 7 rings.
All I'm saying. Baby GOAT.
Okay, you can call him the baby GOAT all you want, but, like, he's still, like, he's been to 5 straight AFC championship games. He's won 1 title.
We don't need to bring that up right now. Don't need to bring that up.
Title. They don't count how many AFC championship rings you have.
Okay, well, if we're talking about all the young quarterbacks, he's the only one that has a Super Bowl.
I'm not saying he's not the best in the league right now.
No, I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just saying if we're going to compare, to the competition, like we were comparing Brady to the competition.
I'm going to compare him to Tom Brady, who had fucking 3 rings in his first 6 seasons.
All right, we don't
That's
need
what I'm
to do
going to
that.
compare it to. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Well, I can't even say that because Andy Reid is a pretty damn good coach.
Yeah, he's good. Well, Tom Brady wrote some defenses, but he stepped up in the playoffs when he needed to. That's all. Yeah, true.
I'd say those defenses were definitely better than the Chiefs, but I wouldn't say marginally.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely significantly, but not like great.
They had best defenses in the league, like at least 2 of those Super Bowls.
Plus, their kicker was good old reliable Vinatieri at that time, of course.
Ice cold. The Jaguars had so obviously like if the Jaguars had won, it would be like Mahomes was hurt, which I can acknowledge.
Yeah.
But like they had so many opportunities to win that game.
No, I'll agree. This is what I mean, where it's like, this is where I'm scared for the Chiefs. Where it's like, I haven't made my prediction yet. We'll make predictions at the end. But if I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm looking at that game going, yeah, don't get me wrong. I still think they would have steamrolled him if Mahomes was 100%. But there was stuff that I saw that concerned me, where it's the defense, yeah, it did come to play this time. But as we've seen more often than not, the defense doesn't usually play up to par. You only have Travis Kelce. Don't get me wrong, Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco's pretty good. He's pretty nice. But you don't have a receiver. You don't have a number one. And it's
unreal, bro. That they can just do that shit.
That's Andy Reid.
And it's like, bro, that Jaguars defense sold that. Like the fucking
Agnew kind of sold.
He sold Hundo P for getting tackled by the kicker and then fumbling on the same fucking drive, dude. That was annoying. I was like, yo, you cribbed that and you're chilling. Like it's a 3-point game. And then all of a sudden, the kicker kicks the kicker in the mouth and falls down. And then he fumbles. Like imagine that. But that defense, bro. Chad Henne comes in and you give up a 98-yard touchdown drive.
And don't forget that play where Chad Henne almost threw a pick. And number 30, I forget what his name is, literally has it in his hands, drops it. Dude, I think that was kind of one of the changes of the game.
You should be fucking foaming at the mouth when a backup quarterback comes in. Like, Chad Henne is not that great at football.
No.
Like he started for the Dolphins way back when and sucked ass, and now is a
there's a reason he's a backup.
So like there's and you have him pinned at the 2-yard line. Like I don't understand like how you let that happen. Like that's the difference in the game. That's when you know like, oh, the Chiefs can do this with any fucking quarterback. Like obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the game right now. But Andy Reid's offense could do it with fucking anyone.
Andy Reid is probably, other than Kyle Shanahan, is probably the best play caller. And even then, him and Shanahan are fighting for the number one spot. Because obviously we see what he's doing with Brock Purdy, but it's just insane the plays that Andy Reid could draw up, especially when your number one receiver is supposed to be just held to nothing, and he still gets 14 receptions, 98 yards. It's insane. It's sick.
And it's like that team is like not that like that team is not even close to as good as like the last couple fucking Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
Like their number one receivers, Juju?
And he hasn't done nearly as much as I thought he would.
Like, yeah, they're all like mediocre receivers. Like not that great. Like Juju was only good in Pittsburgh because he had AB taking all the number one corners away from him.
Yeah.
Like
Then as soon as we saw him leave, he was getting 700, 800 yards a year as their true number one, and that's why they moved off of him.
He's not good. Like I don't think Juju's that good. Like so, like you have no receivers. You have Isaiah Pacheco, which he's good, but like he's
not elite.
He's not like a crazy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire in his rookie year was crazy good.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is such a disappointment. Just every year it gets worse and worse.
But like this team is so much worse than it was like 2 years ago, and it's still in the AFC Championship game. It's unreal.
And that's what I mean, where it's like you got to give credit to Mahomes, you got to give credit to Kelce, and you got to give credit to what's his name, Andy Reid, and for not Clark. I'm blanking on his name. Chris Jones. You got to give credit to him. He's defensive anchor. He never gets the credit he deserves. He's really the one.
Plenty of credit. Leave him alone.
That's just not true.
He's first team All-Pro. That's all the credit you need.
And then we have Chris Collinsworth literally sucking off Mahomes. Let's give the guy his credit.
Dude, I don't agree with the sucking off. Like
Chris Collinsworth was literally like,
dude,
pause in advance, was sucking meat off Mahomes. That man was nuts.
There were so many opportunities, like I said before, that the Jaguars could have won. Like the fucking ball that Trevor Lawrence threw that went right through his number one receiver, quote unquote, Christian Kirk's hands, like that. That was I wouldn't get
big
into
time
the
drop.
Jaguars. I won't get into the Jaguars because like that just like you had plenty of opportunities to win the game and maybe
Mm.
but like Patrick Mahomes didn't win that game. They ran the ball down the Jaguars' throats like it was no tomorrow, and then
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes made a couple throws on like one leg, and everyone started freaking out because it's like
No, he had like realistically for if we're rating Pat Mahomes level like we were rating Josh Allen level, he played probably C plus of his level of like an average quarterback, probably a B plus, but for what we know of Mahomes, that was a C plus.
Yeah.
He didn't play great. Obviously, we know he was gone the rest of the second quarter into the second half, but still, it's like he did enough to win and didn't put the ball in harm's way, which is all you really need. But coming up this week, you're going to need a lot more than that facing off against Joe Burrow. And that defense is stingy. The Bengals defense is stingy.
Dude, that'll be a good that up front game. That I would say the Chiefs have the best offensive line in the game, and the Bengals have a fucking really good,
very good front seven
with fucking Reader and fucking Hubbard and Henderson, bro. They're good, and that'll be like because it'll be interesting with what's his name, Mahomes' ankle, because they're not going to be able to run the ball like they did last week, and like Mahomes is going to have to throw and
even then he's going to have to move around the pocket. They're going to make, especially they know that ankle's uncomfortable. They're going to dial up pressure.
That'll be a fun game to watch, especially with knowing everything that's going on.
Yeah, we're going to see if Joe Burrow could be 4-0. The only other person who I think who is like undefeated is obviously Tom, but obviously Tom is Tom, so that doesn't mean much compared to it's Joe Burrow. This could mean a lot. I'm not saying he's going to take the number one spot from him, but it's going to mean a lot. Where it's like, say they face off next year, where it's like, everybody's probably going to lean the other side and be like, Burrow's already done this 4 times. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
And obviously, we didn't really talk about the Jaguars. Fantastic season. Trevor Lawrence is already a top 8 quarterback in the league. He's going to be great. He's going to be fantastic. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, we'll talk about him as a number 3, number 4 quarterback in the league. Obviously, that's not their time yet. This year, like you said, their number 1 receiver. Next year, they'll actually have a number 1 receiver in Calvin Ridley. When he stops gambling. It's going to look real scary for the next couple of years. That team looks real good. Doug Peterson, great coach. They have all what you need. Great quarterback, great coach, and they're finally starting to put pieces together, which is all you could really ask for, especially with the drought they've had.
Yeah, they'll be pretty good. Especially they started fucking 2-6, and they just won everything after that. It was pretty impressive. Not gonna lie, their season. So, and they won a playoff game.
Yeah.
They were down 27-0. That was wild to watch.
They embarrassed Herbert. They did. They made Emmanuel Osho start talking bad about him again, which is kind of hilarious.
They just exposed the fucking garbage can coach that.
They exposed the inaccuracies of the Chargers, and Chargers curse. Back up.
They just ran the ball.
I think that shit's real. But I guess we'll get into the NFC, where there was just 2.
We'll leave the Cowboys for last.
I plan to. I'm not even going to say their name. I refuse to acknowledge them. Let's talk about our counterparts, the Eagles and the Giants, where Giants just got steamrolled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens. That fucking Eagles team's good. They're good. They're real good. That's the O-line. That Eagles O-line is unreal.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was watching early in the game. I was looking at Lane Johnson. I was seeing him like kind of, bend his knee a little bit. I was like, that's a place they could attack. And it just never happened. Lane Johnson still was Lane Johnson. Jason Kelce still the best center in the league. That Kelce family, I don't know what they're feeding their children. I want some. I need some.
That's unreal, dude. That's fucking crazy. I wish I was
your level's a little bit down.
A
little bit better. No, but Jalen Hurts, for 1, sexy man. 2,
he's handsome. He's a handsome guy.
I was watching a bracket. It was between him and Jimmy G, and I sat there for a minute. I sat there.
I'm still taking Jimmy. Though.
I took Jimmy G, but it was Jimmy G in 6. It was Jimmy G in 6.
Yeah, yeah, that's a 6-game series.
Jimmy G, man. God, why do you have to be playing football? Just don't be a model.
I'm going to root for Jimmy G until the day that I drop dead.
No, but Hurts didn't even really need to do much. He was kind of in Mahomes' position, except the opposite side where they ran the ball well, and he only needed 24 attempts, 16 completions. He really didn't need to do much. He had a rushing touchdown himself, which kind of has proven that the shoulder maybe isn't as bad as people are kind of leading it up to be. I still don't think it's 100%, but it looked damn near 100%, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, there's not really much to say about this game.
They're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a real tough out.
That sucks, dude. I don't want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
I don't either.
Goddamn habit.
I don't either. I can't stand the Eagles. You know I can't stand the Eagles. The only reason why I respect them is because A.J. Brown is one of my favorite receivers. And simply because Jalen Hurts, his story is just great. His story is fantastic.
I would love that team if they were not in the city of Philadelphia.
If
they were the fucking Montreal Eagles, I'd
love them.
All in.
I'd want them to win every year.
That's what I'm saying. Or like fucking, if these were the St. Louis Eagles, I would be all dialed in. But I just cannot stand the city of Philadelphia. I can't do it. I just can't.
And what's worse is
nothing good about it.
We know if they win this next game, it's going to be mayhem. It's going to be mayhem. Eagles fans are going to go nuts. Going to 2 Super Bowls in, 5 years?
2 Super Bowls, and they're completely different teams.
Exactly.
Like, it's a totally different team. That's what
it's not even like, it took them a little bit, but they got back there. No. 2 different quarterbacks, 2 different situations, 2 different head coaches.
Like, everything's different except for, like, Kelsey and Johnson. And Fletcher Cox, I guess. Like, man, that's going to be so irritating.
So let's hope they lose.
I said this earlier. I said this like last couple weeks ago before the playoffs started. If I have to sit here and watch the Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl, I'm going to just scrap this year. I'm going to say this year never happened and move on with my life.
See, I'm going to sit here and be like, Pat Mahomes is the greatest, and I hope you win. And then if the Eagles win, I'm going to go into my bathroom, and we already know what's going to happen there. But we don't need to talk about it. Let's just say Cowboys fan, worst nightmare.
I think that if it's Chiefs-Eagles, I will be rooting for the Eagles.
You said you were being rooting for the Eagles.
I think so, dude.
I hate you.
Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I used to be an Eagles fan back when they had Mike Vick.
I think everybody was a Mike Vick truther.
I moved on from that, and now I dislike the Eagles, but I don't.
Rightfully so.
I'd rather see Jalen Hurts win than to see Mahomes get a step closer to Brady.
See, like you said, Jalen Hurts, great guy. If you were a different city, I'd agree with you. But since it's for the city of Philadelphia, no, I refuse. I refuse to let them be happy. It's the same reason why I hate the Sixers, and I'm glad that they're in turmoil.
Listen, I'm with you. I'm for it. I just don't want, because I know Mahomes is going to win Super Bowls down the road.
Yeah, so let him win more now so he could beat Brady.
That's the exact thing that I don't want to happen. I don't want him to beat Brady.
I'll finally have my own Brady that I could support. I'll know what you guys actually feel.
You could have just supported Brady when he was here. You're from.
I did. I like to win. I didn't like him as a person.
Who cares about the person? I'm not watching the person. I'm watching the football player.
I cared about him when he was winning, and then when he'd lose, I'd hate him. Think about it this way: from September all the way to February, when we make Super Bowls, I'd love him, and then as soon as that Super Bowl hit, like the end of it, I hate him again.
You're like the worst kind of person.
That's just not true.
I don't even appreciate what he did for your childhood.
That's just not true. I appreciate it all the time.
No.
I do. They're very fond memories. I just hate the guy. Just hate the guy.
Down his throat. You don't care.
I do
I
care.
don't care about my mans.
I do care. Just why you got to be such a crappy competitor.
I don't know. We're all sore losers in a way.
I'm not saying, because obviously, like we were saying earlier, where Diggs was kind of a sore loser, where there's a story that came out where, like, obviously they all have like their team meeting where it's like, all right, we lost. Let's like kind of compress. And Diggs was like, nah, peace, and tried to dip out. And then I don't remember who it was. It might have been Tre'Davious White. Went to go get him, brought him back in for a few minutes, and then he left again. And I'm like, damn, drama queen for real. But like, I get it. We're all competitors, but I just mean like it's more of like regular. It's more of like the regular season bullshit. Because in the playoffs, I get it. That shit hurts. Like in the playoffs, especially when it's like you're the Pats and you're the dynasty team and you lose. Like that 2019 loss. Oh, I bet you that shit hurt. I'd be butthurt too. But like when it's like regular season and it's against like you play bad and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna shake the other QB's hand. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a bitch. Simple.
That's why you don't like the guy? Because he
Yes.
won't shake a
Yes.
quarterback's hand after he loses?
I think we all can acknowledge that he's the greatest quarterback one of the greatest just athletes. I can't even say athlete because he sucks as an athlete, but like for what he's done for the sport, his 40-yard dash is 5 seconds.
Bro, he's 45 years old. He's still tossing.
That's what I'm saying. Like for what he's done for the sport, like let's discount that last game against the Cowboys. What he's done in his totality of his career, nobody will ever do. Like as much as we could talk about Mahomes and I call him the GOAT, I'm trolling. He's never going to do that. He's never going to do that. He's never going to get 7 rings. He's never going to have a 20-year career where basically every year they have Brady magic. Or even this year where he was going up against a stacked Dallas team, people are still like, nah, I'm choosing Brady. Like nobody else is going to have that. As a Dallas fan, I was watching that game, still sweating balls going, he can come back. And we were up 24-0. Or whatever the score was. And I still was going, nah, we're losing this game. I'm scared. That, like, nobody else will ever put that fear into any other sports fan. Nobody else. We could all acknowledge that I just got to troll a little bit. I just got to troll.
Listen, man. As long as we're on the same page.
We are on the same page. I got to troll a little bit. We both can't like him. Then what we just sit here jerking him off all day? Pause.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's not do it. Not saying pause after that is crazy. That's crazy.
Dog, if Tom Brady, no,
that is no.
No, I'm not saying that.
That is crazy. I'm using that as a sound clip. I'm using that.
That's fine, but I didn't. You should have heard the sentence that was going to come out of my mouth.
No, when we get off air, I'm going to make you say it. I want you to text it to me right now.
No, because you're
yes.
going to expose me.
I'm not going to expose you. I can't expose you because then if you leave, it's just myself again.
Yeah, you need me, but I'm not sending that shit to you.
I'll make
you have to wait.
I'll make Keegan do it.
She's at practice.
Damn it. She's like the Avatar. Right when you need her, she leaves. Fuck.
I got it.
No, but I guess it's finally time to talk about the most disappointing franchise in football history.
Who'd that be?
The Cowboys.
Oh, the Dallas Cowboys, you mean? Yeah, that was a rough watch, wasn't it?
I'll let you get your words off because I got a lot to say.
Bro, you guys, like, I understand you're not one of them. Like, you're not a delusional Cowboys fan, but my lord, are you guys stupid? Like, dude, I was on TikTok. I saw a guy say Dak Prescott was the 4th best quarterback in the league after the Buccaneers game. Not true.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. He's stupid.
But this is exactly what I was saying with Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott sucks in the play. Like, I have never.
It's unfortunate.
I was never sold. I don't think he sucks as a quarterback. I think he sucks in the playoffs. And I was never sold on him like that they would be able to win a Super Bowl with this quarterback, with Dak Prescott. But, like, man, there was so many opportunities. The game was close. It's not like it was out of reach. The game was close the whole time, and you had so many opportunities. Dak Prescott had so many opportunities to take over the game, but he got outplayed by this fucking last pick in the draft. He got outplayed by Brock Purdy. There's no coming back from that, Dak Prescott. There's no coming back from that. Like there's no. They can't. They're not going to win. Nothing sticks. I'm telling you right now. They're never going to win a thing. Like an important game. Me. They're never going to. They won a playoff game this year. That's like good. Like that's like a good year. Like that's sad. That's sad that's the Dallas Cowboys reality because like the Cowboys fucking fans, you haven't won shit in 27 years. And when it's every single year, it's like, oh, this year's different. This Cowboys team's different. How is it different? Ezekiel Elliott does what? Nothing. He gets you 2 yards. He's a fucking short.
He gets you 0.
No, he's a short yardage back, and you're paying him how much?
16, 18, I think actually 18.
For what? To get 2 yards a carry, just to get a quick first down? Like it's like I hope Tony Pollard leaves because he needs to go. He needs to get paid handsomely for what he.
I'm your friend. Don't wish that on me.
He needs to go get paid. Someone needs to go pay him Zeke money to go do it.
Pay him out of my personal bank account. Just stay.
You ain't got nothing.
I don't need to have anything. I have hopes and dreams that are slowly decaying.
Hopes and dreams get shattered year after year after year after year.
Right,
it's so sad. It's so sad. It's sad. Like,
you done? You done, guy?
I'll be done in a second. It's so sad every year, and it's so fun to watch. Every single year, it's so fun to watch them lose. Every year, because you just know what's coming tomorrow. You know what's coming on Monday as soon as they lose. All right, go ahead. After you, my brother.
Skip Bayless, I blame you for this. I blame you. Because it's people like you that create these delusional Cowboys fans. And Jerry Jones. We all know I may be the biggest Cowboy fan. I'm not delusional. We came on here last year, and I just said, let me enjoy this win against Tom Brady, because I knew what was going to happen. And if I'm being honest, I'm glad we were even this close. Because at least I could say...
Which is not good as a Cowboy.
It isn't. It's so sad that our ceiling, after this is the 7th year of Dak, our ceiling is winning one playoff game. That's what the Jags ceiling is. And Trevor Lawrence is in his 2nd year. That's where Kyler should be. That's where Mac Jones should be. Real young guys. Now we're reaching into the territory of we should be Super Bowl contenders. We should be. Instead, you know what we are? We're sitting on the couch. Sitting on the couch watching our, not even division rivals, our nemesis from the 90s, the 49ers, go to the 3rd NFC Championship in 4 years. Well, we have not made one in 28.
That's and like the Niners have like quietly done that. You guys are loudly doing nothing.
No, we're loudly losing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say proudly losing. I want to start it off with this. I'll get back to Skip Bayless and Jerry Jones in a second, because I don't think I forgot about him. Don't think I forgot. I saw all the videos of Dallas Cowboys fans, delusional ones, throwing out their TVs. One guy ran his own. It's really funny because I saw he's from Mass, because I saw the electrician's logo on the back of his truck, and I was like, that man's local 103. That's tough. You're in the same pain I am. I know you had to get up that next day and go, I hate my life. But to all those fans, this is your fault. You put crazy expectations on this team. I was just, this year, if I'm being honest with you, I was like, we'll have it. We're the Phoenix Suns. We are literally the Phoenix Suns. That's the greatest comparison I've ever made. I might retire after this.
Elaborate.
We're such a great regular season team, and then we get to the playoffs and we go and shit the bed.
You know what comparison I can also make that to that isn't going to make either one of us happy?
No.
The Boston Celtics.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, I'm a Celtics fan.
No, we know. Like, we're both very torn up about it.
We've done that for God knows how long.
But at least you could say they have more success.
That's what, like, there's an up because we keep
even the Suns are still above the Cowboys. Even the Suns, which is. But to get back on Jerry Jones, Skip Bayless. Letter to Skip Bayless. You are the most delusional Cowboys fan I've ever seen. You did that. You started this. I watch you every day on Undisputed, and it makes me hate being a Dallas Cowboy fan. Every day. But I stick with my team, because that's what I do. I don't flip.
Good for you.
Even though this man makes me want to not be a fan. This man makes me want to be a fan of any other team. Any other team. I think he's also the main reason why I hate Tom Brady. He may be the main reason. He's the main reason why I hate a lot of things. Jerry Jones.
You just don't have any opinion for yourself. You're just taking all of
I am. To Jerry Jones. Earlier this season, he said, this team, like you said, this team is different. This team is special. This team reminds me of the 90s Super Bowl teams. Where? Dak isn't Troy Aikman. Zeke isn't fucking Emmitt Smith anymore. At one point, I could have said, yeah, he's comparable. He's not. CD, I'm leaving CD alone because in the beginning of the season, I said he's not true number one. He proved me wrong. So CD, you get your praise. You get to stay on the sideline. I'm not gonna embarrass you because you did everything great. Dislocated his pinky, caught one of the greatest catches of the postseason. I can't be unhappy with you. To the defense, Micah, oh Micah. Skip would call you 11 from heaven. Where were you? 4 total tackles. The defense in total, I have to say, Tank Lawrence played great. Defense in total played great. But other than that one highlight that he has thrown around Mike McGlinchey, what did you do all day? Except go Debo into being like, oh, don't put me in that stupid ass tweet. You deserve to be in that stupid ass tweet. You're a dumbass. After what you said about Brittany Griner this season, I truly think you are not a bright man. I'm probably getting canceled for this. I'm not stopping. This team disappoints me every year. Every goddamn year. Every year, I come here, and, my family's all Pats fans. My dad goes into my delusion, and he watches Cowboys games. And every year, somehow, they get him, too. He goes, this team's pretty good. And I go, just wait. They'll do something. As I said, Cowboys will do cowboy things. And they did cowboy things. The offense in total didn't play well. Tony Pollard, please come back. For the longest time, I said Zeke was better than you. I didn't mean it. I was a hurt girlfriend. I was a hurt girlfriend seeing her ex do something better. I couldn't handle it. I can handle it. I'm a new man. New year, new me. Please come back.
If it was really a new year, you just ditch the Cowboys and
I can't. I'm not flipping aside. I'm not flipping.
You don't need to flip. Just get rid of them.
I'm staying 10 toes. I don't know why, but I'm staying 10 toes.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
It's a very bad idea.
Brutal decision.
But to finish off with the Cowboys, because I want to get to the 49, the real winners. Dak Prescott, you have a 2-4 record in the playoffs, which is still slightly better than Tony Romo. We have 5 playoff wins in 28 years. 0 NFC championships. 0 Super Bowl appearances. 0 Super Bowl wins. Yet somehow, because we're the most expensive, or whatever fucking word I'm looking for, most profitable team in the NFL, we still get primetime games. We still have Jerry Jones talking about how this team is special every year. And delusional Cowboys fans eat it up. And you want to know what's going to happen? We lost. We lost this year. We lost. And I don't know where we go. I call us in the range of like the Portland Trailblazers, kind of, where we're in no man's land. Because we're paying too much to Zeke. And I saw reports today that he's willing to take a pay cut. You better. You suck now.
He better, bro. There's no reason for them to keep paying him.
We still haven't made a long-term deal with Dalton Schultz. Which, why? because we can't tag him again because that's going to be 150% markup. And we also need to tag Pollard because somebody's going to pick him up. We have no other receiver other than CD. Defense, I'm not worried about them. They played well this year. Unless Dan Campbell leaves, or Dan Quinn leaves, and our defense just sucks again, we're good on that side of the ball. Mike McCarthy, you didn't coach your worst game, but get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Kellen Moore, you were the most overrated OC I've ever seen. Every year, early in the year, we'll start playing well. Everybody's like, this guy could be a head coach. If you're a head coach of a franchise, I am sorry for that franchise. I am sorry. Because this man is literally the Cardinals in one body. He'll do great in the beginning of the season. End of the season comes around. He goes, nah, fuck it. Dak, wing it. And Dak just goes, I bet. Someone's got to be down there. Oh, yeah, the other team. Dak, you had 7 straight games with at least 1 interception to end the year. Then you played against Tom Brady and had the best game of your career. Then followed it up with another stinker with 2 interceptions. The first interception, I wouldn't even say is necessarily your fault. It's a timing route. Seems like Gallup stopped too early. Fine. Second one, even if you want to say the DB jumped the route, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He still threw a pick. And even then, fine, he threw 2 picks. I watched Trevor Lawrence throw 4 picks in the first half and still come back from that game. And still stay composed enough to come back in that game. And you didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. All I want to say is, I don't know where to go from here. Because to people saying, move off of Dak, how are we going to do that? We're not getting Lamar. We're not getting him. As much as I hope and pray to any God that's up there, we're not getting him. Even if we were, you know, the moon and earth we'd have to go to fucking go get him. We'd have everything we have to build on. We'd have to lose just to get Lamar. We'd be in the same situation, just with a better quarterback. And there's nothing in the draft that makes me see, oh yeah, this guy could be better than Dak. We don't know. At this point, I just want to tank. I don't even want to win. I just want to tank. Just to spite all those Dallas Cowboys fans. I just want to tank. Because as a realistic fan, I don't see where we go from here. I don't. We're literally in no man's land. Because we're not going to beat any of the best NFC teams. And we're still too good in the regular season to get a top pick. What do? And we're too broke to go get other pieces.
Sucks. That sucks, doesn't it?
I hate my life. I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it here.
Man, there's always next year.
No, there isn't.
Always next year.
No, don't give them that hope.
There's always
don't
next
give them
year.
that hope. This was the last year of the NFL. You lost. You lost. I've been saving that for 3 days.
Niners are good though.
Thanks for letting me cook, because I was holding on to that. Now to talk about the 49ers.
Yeah.
They look good. They look damn good.
That team, like I said, unreal. But I think the Eagles beat them. I just think it's going to come down to quarterback play.
Yeah.
And Hurts is going to obviously
beat out Brock Purdy.
But because Brock Purdy didn't play great against the Cowboys, but he made some big throws.
He made the throws he needed to make.
Yeah. So he's still serviceable, and it's unreal that he's in an NFC Championship game. But I don't think he's going to get the fucking Eagles secondary is good. So I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know what we're gonna see from him. I can see him either I don't see him playing great. I see him either playing really bad or in the middle, pretty decent.
I see it being a lot more defensive than a lot of people think. Not because I don't believe in Jalen Hurts. I think that man is great. I just think that 49ers defense is suffocating. I think it's going to come down to 1 or 2 plays that Jalen Hurts is going to make the throw. And unfortunately, Eagles are going to advance. And it's not like I said, if Trey Lance was what they thought he would be, like I said, I can't even really put a grade on Trey Lance because we haven't seen enough of him. But if they had a serviceable quarterback, really, I'm not saying if they had a good quarterback, because Brock Purdy is serviceable. If they had a good quarterback, I'm taking them just because that offense is nuts. Like, that offense might be slightly better than the Eagles. Slightly. Just because Christian McCaffrey, Debo, and just the play calling of Shanahan, I just believe in that more than I believe in Nick Sirianni. But when you have Brock Purdy, you have limitations. There's a reason why he was Mr. Irrelevant. He probably shouldn't have been, but there's a reason why he wasn't one of the top picks, I should say.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the defenses play like how they usually play. Both these defenses are unreal. So like, obviously, like I'm gonna have to go with the quarterback that has played like an MVP all year. Because I think it's gonna come down to that, you know.
But it's gonna be a great game for sure. It's probably, I can't say better, the game of the weekend. But it's going to be a great game. Let's just say that. It's going to be a great game. I'm glad the 4 best teams are in the Final 4, I should say. Which is fun to see. Obviously, quarterback, he's in last place. But it's tough to even say. Jalen Hurts is in 3rd. Jalen Hurts was almost MVP this season. He's in 3rd. 3rd. Yeah. This is like this is what I meant by the playoffs were great this year. Because usually you have like one weird team just kind of come out of the shadows and they're like, hey, let's fuck somebody's parlay up. And it's like, buddy, go home. You're drunk. Please. My parlays are dying.
These 4 teams are like top to bottom built crazy. Like really, really built well. Like Bengals are probably the worst team out of all of them, like built wise, just from like I'd say offensive line. Like because I would
offensive
obviously line. I think the Chiefs have the best offensive line in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Eagles have have a close second.
Eagles are up there, and then the Niners have been able to run the ball like nobody's business all year, and they protected Brock Purdy. Like that's why he's actually been doing what he's doing, just because he's had the time to fucking throw the ball. So like, but even then, like the Bengals aren't that far off of that. But it's great to see that we have 4 like top to bottom, like really well built teams in the Final 4 here.
But now comes the point of the show where we make predictions, where we get spicy. Well, it's not even that spicy now because they're 4 great. Whoever you pick makes sense, realistically. Whichever way you go, it makes sense. But, yeah, so who's your pick for, we'll go AFC, each of us, and then we'll go NFC.
I got Chiefs over Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it's a 28-17.
28-17.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say it's a 2-score.
I have Chiefs, and I think it's gonna be a lot closer than you think. I think it's gonna be trying to find a score that seems right. I want to say 25-21.
Interesting 25 pick.
I know. I was between 27-23 and 25-21. I like weird numbers, so. But it's definitely going to be a close game. I think Joe Burrow's offensive line is finally going to fail him, and I think Chris Jones is going to make that last play that really gets him to the Super Bowl. Now let's go NFC.
All right. Now I know what I said earlier.
I know what I said all of 3 minutes ago, but disregard all of it.
I'm going to double back on it just to make things interesting. I don't want us to pick the same people here. So I'm gonna, and I think it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Could. Do I think it's going to? Probably not. But I want to be different from you. So I'm gonna go Niners, and I'm gonna go 17-14.
I'm going to go Eagles. And I'm hoping, since I'm picking the Eagles, they'll lose. even though I've been right, I'm pretty sure, on every game except for one so far in the playoffs. But I'm hoping this is my second loss. And I'm going 2017. I think those plays I was talking about from Jalen Hurts gets them that last field goal that wins them the game.
I understand. And I understand that I got a bold prediction, but yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to
Somebody needs to fall on the sword. Somebody needs to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be potting for real.
For real. I'm here to take you on a journey.
Now, in other sports, or other football news, I should say, don't know when we became just a football podcast. We haven't talked about basketball in forever.
Oh, it's the playoffs.
Mostly because Celtics have been disappointing me. We lost to the Magic again. Jason Tatum's wrist hurts and his stomach hurts. Help. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Malcolm Brogdon aren't playing tonight. We're screwed. What is happening? I had such high hopes, and they're not as bad as the Cowboys because they haven't disappointed me as much. But I was generally thinking about this. This story nobody knows. After the 2018 Eastern Conference run, that shit hurt me so bad, especially with the boys and all that, because we were me and David were clowning Dan, saying, "Oh no, Cavs are gonna lose," and at that point we were winning, and I had a $100 bet on it, the only money I had to my name, and we lost. That shit made me stop watching basketball for 2 years. I literally did not. I would see it on TV and I'd try to watch and I'd be like, this sucks. I'm not watching. That's how bad that shit hurt me.
All the money you have.
I thought we would win.
All the money you have?
At that point, yeah.
Just not smart.
I was a broke high school student who was working 2 days.
Just not smart. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, I supported my team. I supported my team. I put the house on it.
I supported my team too without putting any money towards anything.
See, that was my first gambling escapade. Didn't look out so good. Still hasn't looked out so good. My gambling escapades do not work out very well. Unless it's on, weirdly enough, because I always kind of pick against the Cowboys. I want to say against, but I know who the Cowboys will lose to, and nobody else does. So I always win those. And I bet on us to lose against the Magic again, just because I was like, fuck it. I was like, it's crazy odds. And then we lost. And I was like, as a betting fan, I'm happy. As a Celtics fan, what is happening?
There's no reason why would you bet against your own team? That just don't make no sense.
Hey, you just got to know when to play. You just got to know when to play.
It's just weird. I don't know anybody else that does that.
Hey, it's called jinxing it. Why do you think I'm picking the Eagles? I want them to lose.
Yeah, but then you're losing money.
If it means I'm happier, I'll do it.
You're a strange man.
Hey, sometimes you have to have strange tactics.
Yes.
When it comes to the Celtics, you have to. Tell me we have 0 finals with this great team. Tell me we might not make the finals again this year. Just for a quick little basketball topic. I was genuinely thinking today. I was contemplating. I was like, when it comes out east, I'm not really scared of anybody because Sixers, their turmoil, I'm not scared of them. We could beat them. I think we can honestly sweep them. But I'll say gentlemen sweep. I say we get them in 5. Bucks, it's going to be a pretty big competition. I still say we get them in 6. And then who else is up there? Cavs. Cavs have had our number, but I just don't think they're playoff ready. I know D Mitch is, but I just don't think the team as a whole is playoff ready. I think that's probably the toughest series just because matchup wise. So I'd say 7, but I'd say we win. And then when it comes out to let's say we make it to the finals, if we face the Warriors again, we don't play well against them at all. I was really thinking this last time against the Warriors. I was actually at the gym when the game was on, and I was watching. I was like, Jason Tatum's having another stinker. Are you serious? And he ended up with a decent stat line, 30 and 19, but in the most inefficient way possible. And we tried to sell that game every other time we touched the ball. We had like an 8-point lead with like 30 seconds left, and we were like, nah, fuck it. You guys want this win? Like, they're not, like I said, they're not as bad as the Cowboys, but they put my heart pressure up just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I was having, when we lost to the Nets in the first round a couple years ago, that I was having like Cowboys-esque.
Yeah.
I was like, we made the finals with IT, and then we traded him. So I was like, okay. Then we made the finals, the East Finals, not the finals. East Finals without Kyrie, with Kyrie sitting on the bench. And then we made the East Finals again, and it was just like we could never get over that. It was like we were an Eastern Conference Finals team or nothing. And it was like we were wasting all these years. But now I'm like, we made it to a finals, so I'm like happy. And I feel like we're moving in the right direction. But I don't know. This year proves it whether we're the Cowboys or not.
Yeah. I say if we don't win it this year, we have some major thinking to do.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the Jays. They're a great combo. Not even talking about role players. Not even talking about coaching. I generally don't know what to do. Because if we don't win this year, that'd be, let's say we make it to the finals again. Or no, let's say ECF. Let's like kind of lowball a little bit. That's what, 4 ECFs in 6 years? That's like, you should win a finals there. But what do you really change? I don't know. Let's just hope it doesn't happen, because I'll be irate. I may have another letter to Joe Mazzulla this time. Even though he's low-key been coaching his ass off. He has been.
Say we'd honestly be like the Niners at that point.
Yeah.
The Niners have made 2 Super Bowls and like 6 or 7
NFC championships.
Maybe NFC championships in the last since 2012, last 11 years. So like, and they haven't won nothing. So that's kind of like where we're at. They're kind of in the same boat as in like this year. If they don't win, like they got problems.
I mean, I could agree, but I feel like they also don't have like a superstar quarterback. They had Jimmy G, who was like, we could all consensusly, he definitely is a starter for some teams, but he doesn't really raise the level of the play. So it's tough. It's tough, man. Tough being a fan of any team out here right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you want to talk about Bill O'Brien. I had my own thoughts on it. I'm kind of mixed. It's not that I don't think he's a great offensive mind. I just wanted D-Hop to come here. And now I know that since we have Bill O'Brien, D-Hop's not coming here because that man insulted his mother. He's not coming here.
I mean, I'm for it. I figured it was going to happen. I'm for anybody.
Other than Matt Patricia.
So, like, so be it. Like, let's see what he's got. I mean, he obviously
can't be worse than last year.
Yeah, brought Bryce Young to Heisman and a national championship. So it's like, we'll see. We'll see what he's going to do.
Let's just hope for the best.
It legitimately can't be worse than this year. And we won 8 games. So it's like, let's see.
God, pray for the Pats. Let's hope we get Lamar.
We're not getting Lamar.
I don't care about the future. I want Lamar.
We're not getting Lamar. We're not going to get Lamar.
I could pray. Let me pray.
We're not even going to try to get Lamar.
We're not going to try. I just want to have that dream. Just let me have it. I thought we had when we had Cam Newton and he was dog shit.
Have it. Here. Have it. Take it. I don't want it.
Why would you not want Lamar? Lamar's great.
We don't.
He's basically in the same situation, though, because we don't have a number 1. I mean, Devontae Parker was our number 1 this year, and he was still realistically a number 2, considering how many times he got injured.
Yeah.
But seeing you're starting to get a little sleepy, so I'll let the viewers off. So that was the end of today's podcast. Make sure to follow us on socials. Everything is Unruly Podcast, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, I've been posting visuals on YouTube. Yeah, that's about it. Any last thoughts about playoffs and my unfortunate plight with the Cowboys?
Nah, that's all you, brother.
It's over for the Cowboys. Let's just say that. It's over. It's over. I'm never going to watch us win in my lifetime. As long as Jerry Jones or the Jones family have a hold on this organization, we'll never win. We'll need the grace of God to win. And if the Eagles win before that, I will be done. I will have retired. I will have retired. Twice
Sucks,
before the
dog.
Cowboys get to another one, that's sick. That's sick. I'm not even saying make it. Win twice. That's sick. I can't handle that. I'm not man enough for that. I'm not man enough. But yeah. Bye.
Ah.